the Comic Station, issue number 11 for March 13, 2013. I'm Paul Nisi.
I'm Scott Cates of the Comic Station.
We're going over our new releases for the week. We have a few number ones and also some follow-ups on some previous ones we mentioned, as well as a review for St. Patrick's Day coming up, and a recommendation from Scott. Welcome to the new releases portion of Comic Station issue number 11. We're going to start off right off the bat actually with two, because they have to do with the same character, and a personal favorite of mine is Wolverine. We have Wolverine number 1 and the Ultimate Comics Wolverine, both from Marvel. Wolverine number 1 follows Logan. Very clean art, very beautiful. There's a really cool scene where Wolverine gets shot by a disintegration ray, and it's just really neat to see the skeleton and everything. It starts off, Wolverine is in the middle of a hostage situation where a father is holding hostages, and he's indiscriminately killing the hostages. His son is there as well. Basically, something develops where everything's not as it seems. Seemed like almost maybe an alien force is in there, and Wolverine is very focused on trying to save the little boy, whether or not the little boy deserves it. And just really nice, interesting. I thought the pacing was pretty good. Interesting so far.
Okay, we'll see. At my last count, this was 4 individual titles for Wolverine now, and of course, plus Wolverine and the X-Men, plus all the other X-Men titles. So this is another. This was one of my biggest complaints about the X-Men before the new Marvel Now 52 started stuff. We'll see.
He's a favorite, but hopefully they don't just use him as a set piece and holding it there. Hopefully it develops its own story. Like I said, so far so okay. I won't say it's great so far, but so far it's okay. The next one, Ultimate Comics Wolverine. This one actually, you do see Logan, but it's really more a story of his son, Jimmy Howlett. If people don't know, Wolverine's name is Logan Howlett. He fathered his son. Jimmy was not aware he was a mutant until he finds out, and it follows him. Basically, he is following up on a mystery that Logan started investigating. You get some flashbacks going back to Logan when he first discovered what was happening and everything moving forward. But again, this is another comic written by Cullen Bunn, and he does a really nice job writing it. The artwork is okay. I'm not going to say that it stands out in any way. So this is really more on the storyline. And it's interesting. I don't know how Jimmy's going to play into it. I am not personally familiar with Jimmy as a character, so it's interesting, although with the Wolverine title on it, centering on him, I wonder how much flashbacks they're going to do, and I hope they don't rely on the flashbacks too much.
One of the good things about this title is it is an Ultimate title, separate from the normal Marvel Universe, which allows them to do a few other things that they may not be able to do, and you don't have to worry about continuity within the normal Marvel Universe, thank goodness. I will read it. I'm not a big fan of the Ultimate Universe, but I am a fan of Wolverine, so I will read this one.
Yeah. So, as a fan, it's interesting to read it. I just don't know how long it's going to hold up with Jimmy as the main character. The next one we have is from Boom Comics. It is Aliens vs. Parker. Honestly, we picked this up because there wasn't too many number ones. I wanted to check this out. I'd like to sometimes delve into maybe not some of the major titles, and I'm actually glad I did. This was really, really funny, but I have a kind of childish sense of humor. You say fart too many times, I'm going to laugh. So, but basically it follows a group of guys that are glorified delivery men in space. It starts out shooting aliens, going forward, and you think that's what it's about. And of course they do the twist. It's a video game. Childish pranks and name-calling ensue, so forth. And they kind of don't like the rut they're in. They think it's not very exciting. They are glorified pizza men, as the little kids made fun of them as. And they get their big chance where they get a classified mission and their ship gets commandeered by the United States Marine Corps, and they're going to investigate a mining station that has lost contact. Routine, standard. We all know where that usually goes in a sci-fi story. So I'm wondering where the action is going to go, but so far this entire thing was just start getting to the planet. And the Marines left them there. They had no intention of bringing them on the planet. But as little progress as this made action-wise, it was really funny. I had a good time reading it. Really nice. I liked it. The art style is nice and clean, and it's an interesting artwork. Nothing too stylized, but I liked it. But really, the main thing about this was the funny banter. So
That's another new title from Boom. Boom has been pushing them out lately. Um, they do nice work. I'm not a huge fan of everything they do. I do read a couple of their things, but we'll see where it goes. Hopefully, it's another good seller for them.
yeah, despite the cover possibly and the first few pages being very colorful and more cartoonish, this is not for kids. There is plenty of innuendo, plenty of name calling and so forth that will probably not be suitable for younger children. So, just a little heads up there. Alright. The last two are really more follow-ups. They're not number ones, but they are new releases. The first one is Katana number 2. Since we mentioned this in a previous comic station doing a full review, this is just a follow-up. Basically, the art and story are really nice. The artwork, again, manga inspired, very beautiful. The story, while it is written very well, it also hit a lot of snags as far as feeling a bit forced. The story just jumped over too many points, and it made some things seem too easy that shouldn't have been too easy, and it just snagged for me. The fight scenes were really nice, very fluid. They seem to have picked that up on the first issue. There was a mention in the review that one of the fight scenes seemed more like pictures than, well, more like static pictures than fluid pictures, and they seem to have fixed that. And of course, at the end, there is a mention of the JLA, and again, way too quick. She just agrees to the representative of the JLA. Just you have to read it to find out, but too quick, and they're losing it.
I read the first one. It was okay. I will read this. I'm still curious as to why Katana got her own book, but we'll see how long it goes. I from a sales perspective, I don't see it going too long. They'll probably figure out a way to tie it up relatively quick, and just she'll be a part-time character in the JLA.
What I see happening here is nothing's carrying it too far on its own. The introduction to the JLA happened in this issue. I really see it, as you said, she's going to start getting more side characters coming in and boosting her up a little bit, and then she's going to fold into the JLA. That's personally what I see happening, unless they can pull it around. Alright, and the next one, personal favorite, fan favorite, everyone that I've talked to about this has loved it. And again, Dark Horse Comics hits it with Star Wars number 3 right out of the park. As you can see from the cover, it centers around Han Solo. While the story inside doesn't really center around him too much, he does have his own sections again. And really it goes between Han and Luke and Leia. Not so much other characters at this time. And Han, as usual, gets into a deal gone bad, and he's in trouble. So there's your action for this issue. And Luke and Leia start hitting heads a little bit, with Luke wanting to being a little bit more rebellious towards Leia's leadership, and maybe being a little cocksure, a little cocky. And it ends with the Imperials are coming. So I'm looking forward to more space battles, more interesting. They're doing a really good job of fleshing out the characters. The artwork is beautiful. This has been, Brian Wood's writing is amazing, so anybody that is a Star Wars fan needs to pick this up.
And all I can say is that it sells out every time it comes in. So that's all I need to say about it.
Absolutely. All right. Next coming up is the review section and the recommendations. For the review section today, since St. Patrick's Day is coming up over the weekend, I thought it was fitting to do a review of Grimm Fairy Tales St. Patrick's Day special one-shot. This comic, obviously with the Grimm Fairy Tales from Zenescope, they do a beautiful job of being able to take what is typically stories and fairy tales and other mythos and taking it and giving it a modern twist, and as with most fairy tales, inserting a moral as well. They beautiful artwork all the time, maybe a little leaning towards the eye candy for some, but there's no ever complaining about the artwork. The story, as far as it goes, you follow the main character entering a what more appropriate than a Irish pub on St. Patrick's Day, hoping to get some time off, and she finds herself being talked to by different characters, three stories within this one, and each being told by a different person. Each person has their own tale where greed plays a part in it, and this is the story and morals about greed. And being St. Patrick's Day, there is a leprechaun, and it's billed as a horror, even though the artwork and the moral story behind it wasn't really horror to me, but there is a little bit of death going on, and basically everyone that has let greed lead them down that path, whether it be through stealing lies or playing people's hearts against each other, they all get what's coming to them. And in the end, you find that they all made choices, and they all have to live with those choices. So I really liked it. I thought it was really nice, quick, fast read, beautiful artwork. The moral was readily available and relatable, and I mean, it's a quick, fast read. Again, with Grimm Fairy Tales, there's nothing too intense about it. It's just a nice, fat, quick read. You can see the full review on frontowardsgamer.com, along with some additional pictures, but for St. Patrick's Day, it's a nice issue.
Great. Now, I'm going to go way off the beaten track here.
Yes.
I know a lot of shops do not get in independent books, but this is one, if you're watching this, when you go to your local shop, really see if they can get you a copy of this. This is called Dead Man's Party, and this is the #1 issue, and it's by Jeff Marsick and illustrated by Scott Barnett. Now, luckily for us, both of these gentlemen will be in our shop this upcoming Saturday, the March 16th, for a signing. I just read this, and I will say that the story is fantastic. It's about a hitman who is the best there is, and he gets conned into thinking he is dying by cancer. So he decides to go out as a hitman would in a dead man's party, meaning he hires other hitmen to kill him before he dies of cancer. But then there's a twist at the end, and that just takes it on. This is a 4-issue run. The interior is black and white, it's photorealistic. Scott Barnett does a phenomenal job with the artwork. It is definitely for mature readers. There is language, there is nudity, but I will absolutely recommend this book to anybody. Get your shop to look it up and get it in for you.
Yeah, obviously this wasn't actually my first look through, but yeah, very cinematic artwork here, very photorealistic, and definitely adult. I'm looking forward to reading this. I look forward to meeting them, but if you like artwork and you really like something that is more of a almost pencil drawings, very photorealistic pencil drawings, definitely check out Dead Man's Party. All right. This has been the Comic Station issue number 11 for March 13, 2013. Feel free to contact me on Twitter at PNEC. Please leave a comment, like the station or videos channels, and let us know if there's anything else you would like to see, any reviews that we missed. Would you like us to do a full review on some of these issues that we just highlight? Is there anything that we missed that you want us to go over? And please, any recommendations, always looking forward to constructive criticism. All right. Thank you very much, and we will see you next week.
See you.